The Counseling and Guidance Center is a center that was started more so as a voluntary service by some people way back in 1975. But then the university recognized that we need to have this as a formal service within the university somewhere in 1987. But then it got formal recognition. Actually, it widened the scope of the people we are serving in 2005. That's when council realized that not only students actually need counseling services or guidance and counseling services, if I'm to put it, but also staff and also the children of the staff. Initially, it was also at the university hospital in the basement, but shortly after that, it moved away from the basement, and we got our location opposite Mary Stuart Hall. We call it the Mary Stuart Road. So that's where we are located. We got a place because we wanted to be close to where students are. These services are free for both students and staff, and they can come in, especially if it's physical sessions. They are free to come in at any time between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. in the evening. But also actually they are free to come in to call. Our numbers are on the university website, but also make sure that in all the platforms we are using, whether they are adverts, we include our numbers such that people can always call in, because the problem doesn't wait for time. So you can feel very uncomfortable late at night and you really almost you want to kill yourself. So better you call somebody that evening and say, you know what, I'm really feeling down, I want to talk to someone. So we have actually with technology now, we have more modes of reaching out to people. It could be by phone, a telecounseling. We could do a Zoom session. We could do if it's a group session, we can actually have also now group using the Zoom, and we hold workshops using all those platforms. So we've moved away from just the physical meetings. Some people actually were saying, no, I fear meeting somebody physically. And so we can start with meeting someone wherever they are at the comfort of theirs. To individuals, say one needs an individual session. It could be a couple. Some students have boyfriends and girlfriends, and some of the graduate students, for instance, are married. It's acceptable, and if that is what is bring discomfort to this particular student, we could have couple counseling. But also, we do offer group sessions for people, say, who are struggling with similar issues. We can invite them and tell them, you know what, we always have a group, say, or a group that is addressing career-related issues. And then we invite all those people with career concerns, and then we have a group session. But it could be that we even have a generic group which brings multiple issues, and we want, because group also has something beautiful in it, in that in a group session, the clients themselves or the people participating in the group are able to support their colleagues. They're able to challenge their colleagues in a session, and actually many people end up getting more skills sometimes, and they get more benefit from a group session than even from an individual session, because you get to meet other people. And sometimes also you get to realize you're not alone, and that actually tries to ease in the problem, because you're meeting people who are probably facing an issue that is related to what you're facing. But also we do offer workshops, and these normally we offer them because we realize there is a need in a college or in a department, or when staff invite us and we go and talk to them. But what doesn't also miss is the orientation talks. So we always have to run around campus when it's when the university is beginning, to tell them about our services. But also we have started something we are calling TCTC, Take Counseling to Class. So we go to a class and we ask the lecturer, please give us a few minutes to talk about the counseling and guidance services. and normally they give such time. And that's also, we found it very useful because it makes people more understand about our services, and in case they had any doubts, then they're able to clear them, and then probably that also opens them up to seek for these services. But I must also say we also offer self-help services. I occasionally send some self-help materials to staff on the staff mailing lists. The reason, say, I can talk about depression, I can talk about stress, and I write something small, something that people can easily find easy to read. And that is, many people have given me feedback, they find it very easy, and it lightens them up, they get some basic skills, and they're able to move on. As a matter of fact, some people may not necessarily need counseling, but when you write something that is useful, they might find it enough to take them to the next level, and then they don't need necessarily to come for counseling services because they're empowered, you've given them the skill. Yeah. Anybody of us could have a wounded past. As you were growing up, people used to say somebody could have been raped, defiled as a young girl. Somebody who could have grown up into a very abusive, they could even wound you when you're on campus. You're in a very abusive relationship that leaves you traumatized, and it can cause many other psychological problems. So because we can also be wounded and we could have a wounded past, we need to not to continue with that wound. And psychological wounds are terrible because they may not be easily seen, but they affect you greatly, and they affect the way you relate, they affect the way you think about yourself, they affect the way you work with other people, they affect you in the way, your happiness and many other ways, because we need to be, at the end of the day, mental health. And mental health means that emotionally you are balanced, you are well. Of course, we can't say that we are completely mentally healthy sometimes, and there is no complete state of well-being. Sometimes you are very okay, at some point another thing happens, and that's why actually counseling is like going to a medical doctor, because at one point you are healthy, another time you are sick. So even mentally, at one point you are very healthy, at another point you get something that puts you off, and you really need support. You need somebody to put you up and to give you wheels and you run. So that's why number one, because tragedies could easily come, and they come because of the wounded past. No one of us is immune to being wounded. We could all be wounded either today, or we were wounded yesterday or some years back, and we need to improve. But also it could be because we want to grow. And none of us doesn't want to grow. And as we say, we are building for the future. We want to grow, we want to become better to ourselves, but also to the people we relate with. You may be struggling. You want to improve in your assertiveness skill. You want to improve in your communication skills. You find it difficult to say no. You have difficulty in managing your anger. Your esteem is down. It doesn't really cause you a lot of pain every other moment, but because you want to improve in that aspect, you may say, no, you know what? I am here at the university, and as we say, Makerere University, we are building for the future. You don't want a person to complete university and afterwards they go and they say, but that guy cannot, it doesn't have confidence. You want to build your confidence as a university student, as even a staff, because all of us, we are improving in one aspect or the other. And so people may need to go for counseling and guidance services because they want to grow, to improve in one aspect of theirs, where they think probably they're not doing very well, and probably it might bring them problems at one point. People shouldn't fear. We have very professional people. Counseling is strictly confidential, and people are and very objective and non-judgmental. That should ring a bell in people's mind, that you are getting somebody who doesn't know you and who may never see you again, but talking to you. Sometimes, as I said, it could be telecounseling. Somebody is speaking to you on phone. You may never see them, but they are there to help you. so that you don't struggle alone. And we all need that support at one point in our life. And that's why I want to urge students, staff, but also staff who have children who may need support, to always feel free to walk in here. Counseling should not make somebody feel like you are a weak person. No, we are weak, we are strong at some point, we are weak at some point, and so we need support of the other. And that's why this professional support is needed by each and every one, and at any point in our life. You are free to pick a counselor of your choice. If you are finding it difficult to work with one counselor, you are always free to say, no, I want another one. You are free to pick a male or a female. You are free to pick somebody of your choice. No one is going to crucify you for somebody, for choosing one or the other, or deciding to drop one and take the other. No, all that is at your credence. Don't fail to complete your academics because of psychological issues. Don't fail to move on with your life because you are struggling in some way. Don't maintain bad habits because you fear people to know about those bad habits. You are here to grow. You are here to improve. We are building for the future. Thank you very much.